what's up. I'm bringing you this. I just wanted to point this out. This is what these guys are experiencing. Is what it's close enough to consider what targeted individuals go through, or at least what my targeting was like, and what I was going through, what I was experiencing from law enforcement, and I'll let them explain here kind of what's going on.
In Meade County, Kentucky, courthouse, because we need to go to the sheriff's department and do a few reports. There will be more about that, but basically what we're experiencing is a bunch of criminal law violations against us from employees here, as well as constitutional violations from employees here. So we're going to try our best to just come in here cordially and just report it, because they're refusing to answer the phone, and allegedly that's because they're working with a person who was formerly charged with murder and multiple burglaries across several states.
All right, Chrissy and Tiffy. They're not effing wanted in Meade County, Kentucky. Go away. Last warning. I'm not playing with you, Christopher Ryder. Last chance. Stay out of Kentucky.
Which seems really odd to me that the government of Meade County, Kentucky would want to work in congruent with a habitual criminal.
I've just gotten off the phone.
So, is that not exactly what targeted individuals are seeing? What I'm seeing is a bunch of criminals, a bunch of people that got in trouble with the law, who are working with and for law enforcement in order to come after and gang stalk certain people that they want to target, right? That law enforcement obviously it's law enforcement that's running the show, because they are going after, like, I claim they go after me because I was blowing the whistle on Chief Travis Schilling here, and you know, that's everything points back to the local law enforcement here in my case. Now, in these guys' case, and in a bunch of other people's cases, this whole community on YouTube is the auditor community, the First Amendment auditors, also known as. Then there's another like spin-off or fucking offshoot of this community called the frauditors, right? The frauditor community is all the people that make fun of the First Amendment auditors, and that is made up of random people in law enforcement and corrections and first responders and military. So it's funny. It's like it's right here. Just take a look at it. All you got to do is follow this and see what's going on, like a soap opera, and you can see really easily who's doing the gang stalking, who's running it, and what they're doing. You know, they know what they're doing is wrong, so that's why they utilize criminals. Because first of all, it takes a dumbass piece of shit to even be able to do this to somebody, and second of all, they're going to make a dumbass piece of shit do it before they do it themselves, because they know it's wrong and against the law, so they can throw them under the bus easier, right? And plus, they have dirt on them. They can easily, hold it over their head and make them do it. So that's what I'm noticing. It's like so similar. It's almost like exactly like my situation or other targeted individuals' situation. I mean, I didn't just call myself a TI because it was the closest thing that fit to my situation. It was very, very eerily specific, the tactics to what I was going through. So, like, and then, if the shoe fits, right, it's all the same. It's all connected. It's all the same fucking thing. Because they do this, they're doing it all over the place, not just in any certain little areas. It's all over the place. It's the same exact tactics.
With the Meade County Sheriff's Department, and only I was in my bedroom making that call from my phone by myself. And right after I hung up, he sent me a text message saying what was discussed in the conversation. Why would someone that works there tell him the details of the conversation. So what is it that you would think at this point would be the crime?
Well, definitely harassment. That falls under the statute of harassment. If I get his information, I can apply for a warrant, and that's safe to pick him up.
So hang on, guys. Let's go see what's going on.
But you see that though, right? Somehow that guy knew the contents of their conversation with the sheriffs. They had a private conversation with law enforcement, and then this guy who's on the hook for multiple felonies and is a murderer how does he know what they were talked about? How does he know that? Either has access to the technology and is highly involved in the gang stalking, for one, or they're using him as a gang stalker, using him as a perp to come after these two good people, and they fed him the information. They told it to him. I think it's B. I think they told him to do it. He's just doing what he's told to do because he's a bitch. He's a narc, he's a bitch, and he's a coward murdering bitch. Oh, and he's stolen valor as well.
Am I related to somebody here?
You sure that your brother didn't
Am I
know?
related to somebody? Here's what I want to know. Y'all smell, y'all reek of pot. I saw you kicking dog. Yeah, you reek of marijuana.
You smell like alcohol.
Because I just looked
Actually,
at
you
the swig
look
before
like
I came
alcohol.
over here.
Everybody should be aware of this, and it should be very alarming to the general public.
Yesterday, we were physically harassed by Stephanie Wimpy, and she's the sheriff's sister.
It's so funny.
Is it funny?
It is.
You're protecting your brother? Did your brother murder your little nephew?
I could just.
Sheriff's sister.
How do you know I'm his sister?
A double murder-suicide in a small Kentucky community.
Deputy Bill Wimby.
We all went to these meetings. We all went everywhere.
Because you put me on the internet.
No, because you put you on the internet with the news. For the camera.
Marijuana boy? Is it drunk marijuana boy? Is that it?
You're telling me that if a person commits the crime of Kentucky law of harassment, that I'm supposed to call an attorney?
Contact a private attorney.
You got the big ass nose, dude. Show me your income tax form. Stay, let's chat. Hi.
That's funny. Show me your income tax form. That's funny. I had Jimmy Grabowski sitting there fucking, show me your W-2. Show me your W-2. It's all the same script, man. I'm telling you.
Facebook world, YouTube world.
The sheriff's sister is nuts. She is absolutely nuts.
That's great. I'm telling you, if the shoe fits, right? These gang stalkers are all fucking whack jobs, right?
If you've been in a car accident, don't call an attorney. Use this
call an
AI app
attorney.
instead.
That was a different incident. When they went in to get public records and they fucking harassed him and they arrested him. Like, I watched that. That was crazy what they did. Arrested him for disorderly conduct. Because he didn't want to give his ID. He didn't do anything.
Hello.
Hi.
I've been trying to call.
Okay.
Nobody will return my calls or answer the phone.
So maybe this is it.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. We're collecting taxes now, and
Okay.
this is.
She looks like she knows. What do you think? She looks like she definitely knows.
Where I'm at. Did you leave a message for someone to call you back?
Several.
Okay, I can't answer that. I don't.
Okay, because I need to report. So, this is the sheriff's department, right?
It is.
And then, are you all responsible for constitutional law enforcement?
Let me get see if I can find somebody else to help.
Okay.
Okay, that's above my pay grade.
That's funny. They always say that. That's above my pay grade. It's above my pay grade. Pass the buck. They must be trained to pass the buck.
So I don't know stuff that I want to do. dumped all my binders up there on the counter.
Yeah, I think this is the one where they arrest him right here in the lobby.
There's that thing for the body armor that they got, and you can see they're still trying to donate. I guess they got a new goal of 10-8, but they've already gotten, how much was it?
I thought they got 30,000.
A few years ago, the sheriff, Wimpy, went grifting on YouTube and ended up finding a donor to give him $30,000 for some armored
He's managed to get all these guys to have vests, guys and ladies have vests. And it was just within the first week we had an anonymous donor that donated all of them. So you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars that somebody graciously donated to us.
Yeah, they already got 30 grand, I believe, from YouTube on this. So I don't know why they would need another. So that would be $40,800 to put vests on all their deputies. But they still.
Isn't that funny? Now, don't you think they'd be able to hide some money, like federal money, in like a classified project if they just called it an anonymous donation?
Don't have body cameras.
Interesting, right?
It was excessive.
That's a lot of money for somebody to give them, $30,000. Come on now. Sure that didn't come from the federal government? Taxpayer dollars.
And that is the former.
They wouldn't want the public to know if they got $30,000 just for body vests, for body, body armor. A police department like this, they probably, because it's probably way too necessary, like over necessary. It's not necessary at all. It's overkill. I'm just guessing, but I'm not really guessing. It is. It's overkill for the area and what they, the amount that they would even need them. That's ridiculous. That's going to be a lot of money for fucking nothing. So, I'm just saying.
Sheriff of Meade County, Kentucky, in which you guys saw the video that I did about Wimpy, Sheriff Wimpy, who then was an SRO officer who had somehow been involved in, there was a double homicide of Wimpy's
SRO, is that a school resource officer?
child.
I gave Tucker an escape route. I worked on it 2 weeks prior to this.
But 13-year-old Tucker Wimpy never got the chance to run. Police say he and his mother, Ellen Kane, were killed November 15th in the Meade County home they shared with her longtime boyfriend, William Earl Tripp.
We told everybody that would listen, this is how it's going to end up.
Deputy Phil Wimpy says he fought to get sole custody of his 2 kids once Tripp got involved with his ex-wife. He described Tripp as violent and abusive and alleged inappropriate behaviors towards his children.
We all went to court. We all went to these meetings. We all went everywhere. We screamed it. We shouted it. The kids just didn't tell their dad. They told us. They told everybody that would listen.
So according to the records, they are telling the truth here, that they did tell everyone that would listen, and everyone listened apparently, because there are records everywhere that all kinds of people investigated the claims that were being made by Wimpy and his sister, and then a few from the kids as well. Now, I would like to know more to be able to at least prove that Wimpy was not, in fact, the person that may have committed that crime, because everything points to him as a suspect. However, the sheriff at the time pretty much told Kentucky State Police when they showed up, no, it's all under control. All it was is the guy that she lived with did it and then turned the gun on himself.
Right,
But all of the neighbors say, and all of the records say, that there was never any abuse from Tripp at all whatsoever. The only person that was making that allegation was Wimpy, and then maybe Wimpy through his children. And I would love to be able to disprove it, But whenever we asked for records that would have proven his innocence, like investigation material, his interrogation, things like that, they said it doesn't exist, and that we would not be given access to it because we are not from Kentucky. But I do have a business in Kentucky, and that is the state law and the way open records works. So what are they hiding? Your guess is as good as mine.
So,
and this was the sheriff.
This would be he's a whistleblower, right? And he's bringing very relevant, important information to the public that has to do with everybody's public safety. When the information is about somebody who's in charge of public safety, and it's very relevant. This is what I was doing. I was speaking out about crimes committed by our local chief of police. I wasn't making complaints. I was just it's the truth. The truth is the truth, and it'll always be the truth. And when you learn about corruption and crimes committed by the person in charge of public safety, and then that person ignores any crimes or reports that you try to make, anything that has to do with you, blatantly ignores it, well, it just reiterates reiterates the fact that he is very corrupt, and he's discrimination against certain people, and it's highly disturbing. Because if my kids had a problem, or if I had a problem, and my life depended on him doing his job and having integrity, I'd be dead, right? My kids would be dead, and whose fault is that? And why? I've never been able to answer that question, why? So, this is why this is important, because it could be me, just because it's me in this situation, it could be you, it could be your kids, it could be anybody. It is absolutely a concern for the public, and it's information that I believe inquiring minds would love to know, and everybody in the public should be aware of. So when people like that try to bring that information to the public, this is what the criminal organization does, right? They try to shut it down.
That communicated with KSP is his child and his ex-wife. So it was Wimpy's, now current Sheriff Wimpy's child and ex-wife, and then her new boyfriend that was killed.
It wasn't just a case of a husband, ex-wife, domestic dispute, fighting over the kids, using kids as a tool. Philip didn't start fighting this fight when they divorced. Philip started fighting this fight when the man came into the picture. When the man, not even when he first came into the picture, he came into we started this battle when the man started his stuff.
And this was the sheriff at that time that told KSP that he had it under control, and he didn't.
I apologize for your wait, but at this time I've been told that your attorney, since you retained one, will need to contact Rick Harden for any questions that he may have about
Hold the phone, Dana. I'm not here for my case.
No, that is completely separate, completely irrelevant, and that is not what applies.
I'm not here for my case.
Okay, that's what I was told.
Well, you should
What are you talking about? You're saying...
information.
Let's one at a time talk.
Right now I need to collect taxes.
I need to speak with an officer for a report of crime. And just now, as I was editing this video, it just dawned on me that she literally pushed me away, who was trying to report a crime, and said, well, I would rather collect some taxes. There's your government, folks.
Yep.
Right now I need to collect taxes.
I need to speak with an officer for a report of crime.
And then we will be back to address this situation.
I'm going to report the crime here in Meade County.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing here, Dana.
All right.
And about 30 to 40 minutes later, this finally happened.
Yeah, this is
Hey.
Hi, just a reminder, we close in 9 minutes.
Okay, then get us. Can you get us somebody to come do our business? Try to report a crime, ma'am. Yes, that's what I told her. That's why I don't understand what's going on.
All right, I'll be out in just a minute.
Just a
Excuse me, guys. I did not drive all the way here just to get turned away.
like they didn't tell her exactly what the deal was. You know what I mean?
What's going on, Dana?
Give me just a second.
Look, she's gonna dick around now.
Okay. I have been told to have you contact your attorney that you need to go through them. I cannot.
My attorney can do nothing about me making a complaint on one of your staff members.
Okay, give me just a second.
It involves other law enforcement too. I'm sorry.
Look, they're all like mad.
Sir.
If you've been getting scam texts like these, it probably means your data has been leaked. Now, some of you can identify these as scams.
See, what is a person supposed to do whenever law enforcement refuses to take your report? And the fact that they all have this mad, mean look on their face, that gives it away. It tells you that they're all involved. They all know something, you know? Or they're told something else.
Is that Knotts?
Miss Knotts, can I get your assistance, please?
Don't ask for her assistance.
Okay.
She's dirty. Don't ask for her.
I don't care who it is.
I don't want Knotts. That woman will literally violate people. I don't want her.
She will definitely allow it to happen.
I don't want her near me. Do not ask for her again.
Okay. So if you've ever wondered what a sheriff's department that protects their employees who violate laws looks like,
Oh, this is awesome.
There
I
it
walked
is.
in right at the right time.
There it is.
And just as if someone may have called her to come and harass us, to get rid of us, or at least let someone that hates us know that we were there for the taking, here comes Wimpy's sister.
That's exactly
crazy one.
Is it so awesome, Sheriff's sister? Are you sure that your brother didn't call you?
Every time, I don't even know. Am I related to somebody here?
You sure that your brother didn't
Am
call
I
you?
related to somebody here?
Yeah, Wimpy.
See, why would she just show up and start harassing them?
No, this works great. I got you all on a
Wimpy.
great video. I promise.
Let me ask you.
It's perfect. I got
Why are you doing this to us?
Here's what I want to know. Y'all reek of pot, by the way.
Do we?
Yeah, you
Okay.
reek of marijuana.
You smell like alcohol.
Because I just took
Actually,
a
you
big swig
look
before
like
I came
alcohol.
over here.
Now, you might think this is fairly random, that she just happened to show up to pay her taxes
No.
after they closed.
No.
But you didn't see the day that we went to our pre-trial hearing, in which Wimpy's sister was there that day doing the same exact thing to us then.
But you all reek of marijuana. I'll just let you know. Yeah, tell all your viewers you reek of marijuana.
And this is what they do. They make up lies and they spread slander, and you know that it's a slander campaign to try to turn society and turn the community against anybody that they target.
Do we? We reek of marijuana.
Specific.
All right.
Did you come over and smell us?
Yeah.
No, I didn't come over to smell you. I come over to pay my taxes.
Why are you
like
getting so close to
everybody
me?
else. You're close to me. You are. They
You can't pay your
closed up
taxes.
on you all.
You weren't coming to pay your
Oh,
taxes.
that's so funny.
Is it funny?
It is. It's hilarious.
Plausible deniability, right? They always have an excuse, don't they?
You're protecting your brother?
Let me tell you
Did your
something.
brother murder
When
your niece?
Let me tell you something.
And your
When
little
you
nephew?
bring something
Did your
like
brother
that
murder
in,
your little
because
nephew?
I swear to God, you're trying
Because
to get a reaction out of
you
me
seem
and
very
provoke me.
abusive in the video.
You're trying to get a reaction out of me, trying to provoke. What the fuck? That woman just came in there and started harassing them.
Wanted to go and kick somebody's ass up and down one side and the other. It was probably worse because he was, he's a sheriff's deputy. It was hard all these years for him because he's like, Steph, we just can't go do that. And I'm like, why not?
I seem abusive. I saw a video
you seem
where
very
you were drunker
abusive.
than Cootie Brown, and I swear if I
Funny,
was
'cause
you,
I
I'd back
agree.
away because it looks like he would have beat the shit out of you. Honestly,
Who?
He really
Who,
he
your
kicked
brother?
a dog. I saw him. No, you. I saw you kick a dog.
You saw me kick a
I
dog?
saw you throw
Show me-
crap.
show me where I kicked a dog.
It's all on video.
No, but show me the video then.
Oh, I'll have to show you.
Sheriff's
They used to pull this shit on me. They'd claim that they saw me do this and they saw me do that, and there's a video of this and video of that, and it just doesn't exist. But just by saying that there's a video of this and I saw it, it has an effect. It makes people believe that what you're saying is true, because they hear you say that you saw a video, and they don't even stop to think that you could be lying and just making the whole thing up. It's very effective.
Sister.
How do you know I'm his sister?
Because you were all over the internet.
Because you put me on the internet.
No murder-suicide in a small Kentucky community. For the first time, the family of the 13-year-old victim spoke publicly.
We told everybody that would listen, this is how it's going to end up. We all went to these meetings. We all went everywhere. We screamed it. We shouted it. The kids just didn't tell their dad. They told us.
No, because you put you on the internet with the news. No. When your brother murdered his son and his ex-wife.
And what happens is when
your brother murdered his son and his ex,
off of my picture and my likeness on video, when you all
there is no liking about you.
When you all do GoFundMes and all the shit you all do, no, I will not. I'll talk just as much as you all, because you know what? You all hate it. You all can't stand that defamation. Every time that you all end up using my likeness, you end up getting money in all your little GoFundMes you do. You literally.
See, this is just another part of the script, right? And they try to convince everybody that they only go on the internet to make money, that it's just a big scam. When the reality is, no. The reality is they're doing important work. They're just trying to bring important information to the public. They're not trying to scam anybody.
Everything I get money off of, because I will sue you for money, because that's what it's about. That's what you all do. That's what I'm gonna do. Simple as that.
Sue me, Sheriff.
Oh, I will. What's your name? Drunk marijuana boy? Is that it? I think it is. You say it louder.
Say it louder for the camera.
Drunk marijuana boy? Is it drunk marijuana boy? Is that it?
Drunk marijuana boy.
Drunk marijuana boy?
You know I don't drink.
Oh, you don't? Well, you don't smell like alcohol. You smell like pot.
Okay, but I don't smoke pot.
Oh, well, I don't know where you.
See, this, it makes you wonder. It's like crazy that that people like this, it looks like a normal, elderly lady, like an older lady, a nice older lady, right? It's kind of hard to believe that people like this act this way, isn't it? Like, this is how they act. They're fucking psycho.
You're funny.
Yeah,
So what's wrong with your nasal cavities? Is there something up in there, maybe? You got something up in your nose?
Who's got the big ass nose, dude?
Yeah, but at least there's nothing in there making me intoxicated.
So freaking big, it's ridiculous.
Is
so
it?
let's compare noses. Here, noses.
Guys, this is the sheriff's sister right here.
Big ass nose right here.
She's a dangerous
marijuana nose. Marijuana
this
nose
woman,
right there.
I'll show you a clip of
now,
her.
guess what happens? So we come here to pay taxes, and now they close, and you can't.
Maybe you should get here before they close.
Oh, really? I guess
your brother's the sheriff. Go ask him if you could pay him your taxes. None of you all pay for anything anyway. Because you're on welfare.
Like, who's on welfare?
You live off of the benefits of this agency. Your brother becoming sheriff. You live on tax money. You know why? Because your behavior. Because your behavior. I have 2 jobs.
Oh, you do? Show me your income tax form.
What the fuck?
You all the money.
What are you, IRS?
Oh, what are you?
No, tell me why would I show you my income tax? You're about to get real famous.
The IRS has something to say. No, don't walk away, Christopher. Marijuana.
It's like Jimmy Grabowski. Show me your W-2s.
Christopher, stay. Let's chat. Hi, Facebook world, YouTube world, whatever y'all get money off of. Because I guarantee it. Hey, I looked you all up too. Hey, what about the investigation into your
Didn't I already ask you not to harass me?
The investigation. I'm here
Haven't
to
I
public
already
place.
asked
I
you to
came to
stop
pay my
harassing me?
taxes, and you were in my way.
What are you doing now?
You all
What's
made
your
it to where I
purpose?
couldn't even pay. Oh,
Excuse me, man. What's your purpose right now?
What's your purpose?
Why are you doing
What is your
this?
purpose here right now?
I was doing legal business.
Oh, I am too, and you caused me not to be able to do it. Now they closed up because of you all. Oh, it's 4:30. That's right. 4:30, close up shop. But
I've asked you not to harass
What do
me.
y'all call it? What do y'all call it?
I've
Who's
asked
harassing
you not to harass
I
me,
came to pay
ma'am.
my taxes.
I have asked you not to harass me.
Listen, there's a difference.
Marijuana and put
Okay,
coke up
people
your
say-
nose, but it looks like that didn't. But you're still doing that.
Oh, good
But
God.
look. Yep.
Guys, this lady's
Oh,
nuts.
that's so funny.
The
Y'all,
sheriff's
your
sister
cameras crack
is
me
nuts.
up. But
She
I
is
promise you all
absolutely
the money
nuts.
that you're all getting will be turned into the IRS, because I know you got a lot of money to pay a lawyer. You said it on your videos. Let's see what the IRS has to say about all that. 'Cause
I think she is intoxicated. I mean, she's clearly a psycho, but I think she's also intoxicated.
you didn't turn in, and I'm on
Government is not allowed to suppress that free
guarantee it, you two are on welfare.
You're living on the taxpayers' dimes by your brother. You're getting benefits. Ma'am, you know what? I've asked you to stop. I've asked you to stop following me and talking to me.
This is absolutely harassment.
So cute that now you're upset.
How many witnesses do we got?
I'm not upset.
55 witnesses.
No, I'm wondering what your purpose is.
I'm walking out at the same time y'all are, 4:30, time to close up.
Let's go over here. Go over here.
Let's go.
I'm walking out the same time y'all are, right? Enter exit fucking tactic.
Right here.
Yep.
See if we can go. This is literally harassment. We have 662 people now who are witness to harassment.
People following me on YouTube and Facebook.
You have people following you because they're ignorant.
Hey. Okay, now it's time to report the crime to down here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the car and do that.
What was supposed to be.
That's
What was
crazy.
supposed to be a short, easy trip. All with violations. This is literally a fucking circus.
So what's important is, guys, there is something you can do. Okay.
Like,
Ma'am, step away from my car.
What's important is you don't give up. Don't stay silent. Don't just say, oh, well, I've tried reporting it to the sheriffs and the state police and the local police and the FBI, and nobody will do anything, right? And then you hear the gaslighting videos, right, of people saying, oh, they've tried to do lawsuits and they just get thrown out. This is all just designed to get you to stop, okay? You gotta keep going. Just get louder, because you know when all that you hear is all this noise, right? And it makes you think that the majority of people agree with the noisemakers, right? The Karens and the bootlickers and the cops and all that. But that's just it. It's just they're just the noisy ones. I believe, without doubt, the majority of people are good people who actually agree with the targets, with the people that are advocating for a just reason and advocating for transparency and truth. The majority of people want the same thing. They're just not as brave and not as bold as some people are, but they do agree. I do believe that they agree with what the whistleblowers and the people speaking out, the advocates, the activists. I believe most people are on the same page and they feel the same way. It's just you have a few of these noisy fucking Karen people like this, right? And they have an advantage because they have the resources and they have the elevated power and authority to just kind of control the noise. They can turn the volume down on the truth, and then they crank it up. They crank the fucking crazy and the disinformation. They crank that all the way up, so that all that anybody hears is the disinformation. So that makes it really difficult for anybody to see both sides, and discern the truth. They just hear the noise if they hear anything, and in most cases they don't want to, they don't want involved. They're like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't care, right? They don't want involved. It's not directly affecting them, and that's it. But if the good, the targeted individuals and the people like myself and like these guys, if we just continue speaking out and get louder and louder and just make more noise, it's not going to be that hard. We just got to make more noise than them, right? Just play their game, but don't do it for spite, and don't do it just to harass. Do it to to drown out the disinformation and do it so that the good people and the good citizens and the good people of this country can hear the truth over the bullshit fucking noisy fucking liars, okay?
She waited next to our car, guys.
No, I got a car out there.
Oh, see, she's got another excuse, right?
Come on, Tiff. Don't get near her. She's nuts.
She is fucking nuts. Psychopath. Imagine, listen, if they're willing to do this in front of the camera, in public, in front of the camera at the sheriff's department, what do you think that they're capable of behind the scenes and you know, behind the curtains, behind closed doors, whenever the camera's not rolling? That should make you very concerned.
Hey, listen, stay the fuck away from us. Get away from us.
You brought me into it on YouTube.
Stay the fuck away from us.
I'm involved in my nephew's murder. This is with
Your brother did it.
You said no. You.
Your brother did. I did it.
Said it in there. So
Your brother did the murder. Your brother killed his ex. Get out of here.
Those are the people that are likely to like stab your ass because she's crazy as fuck.
She's nuts, y'all. Like for real nuts.
She's a fucking
Doggone make me lose my mind.
Up in here?
Up in here.
God, that woman's nuts. That is the sheriff's sister. And she's protected by him.
Pardon my language. I am so sorry because I normally try to watch my language and you guys are having to lay down there for just a second.
Hang on it. And now we're getting ready to go to the city police station, who is open 24/7, so that we can report that crazy bitch. Hang on, guys. Keep watching. So we drove right down the road to the Brandenburg City Police Department, and then they were closed.
I was going to say, let me guess, you couldn't get no help, right?
So we had to use the dispatch call center phone number to contact the police so that we could have an officer come meet us to do a police report on the scene. And this is what happened. There's an officer.
Okay.
There's an officer pulling in.
Is an officer pulling in now? Did they just happen to pull in when they got there without them calling? I wouldn't be surprised.
1 second, let me see what. Okay, I'm trying to. He's on the phone handling another call right now. So just hang on the line for me just another second. Okay, he's available now. So I'm gonna
Okay, there's an officer pulling in right now.
Was that an officer? I'm not sure. He hasn't told me if that's him or not. I'm not for sure if that's the officer that's on duty or if that's a different officer that may be off duty.
I understand.
So let me transfer you to the on duty officer.
Okay.
Yeah, it freaked me out for a minute there too, guys.
There's also one at Brandenburg PD. Yes, sir. This is Chris Ryder. I've just got connected to you through dispatch. I was sitting here waiting on you at the police station so that I could make a report.
Okay, about what?
There's a lady that I'm sure you'll be able to recognize who she is that was she just harassed the living crap out of us at the courthouse and chased us out to our car, and then we kind of split and came here. But I video recorded it so that you could see it.
Okay. Well, I don't normally work day shift. I normally work night shift, so I'll be able to identify who it is.
Well, do you know the sheriff of Meade County?
Yeah.
Do you know his sister's name?
No.
Okay, because that's who it is. I know that much because I can identify her from YouTube. She's been on the media.
Okay.
I know that's who it was.
Okay. All right, so if you got her name, what you need to do is contact an attorney, okay? And then...
For harassment?
Do that.
I'm sorry, did you say contact an attorney for harassment?
You've got to be kidding me right now.
Sir?
Is this a joke?
Just let me make sure he understands. Sir, are you saying that...
Yeah.
You're telling me that if a person commits the crime of Kentucky law of harassment, that I'm supposed to call an attorney?
You can contact a private attorney, and you can file civil charges if you need to.
No, I said harassment under the Kentucky statute.
I understand that.
Well, what are you doing to me then?
What exactly else do you need?
Exactly what I just told you, sir. What was your name again?
It's all sorted out. So you need a report, correct?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Do you need a report?
Yes, I need to file a report for the statute of harassment.
Okay, hang on a second.
Okay, thank you.
This is really happening right now.
All right, let me get your full name, please.
Christopher.
I was assaulted while on the phone with 911 twice. Twice. The dispatch heard it happen, okay? And was reporting two people who furnished alcohol to minors, 14-year-old girls. I had all the evidence and all the proof that they could ever hope for. And I had it all. And the cops responded to the call, to the scene. 2 cops. And they still did nothing. Nothing.
Reiter, R-E-I-T-E-R.
Okay. And address?
My address is not going to be said out loud.
Okay, well, if you don't give me your address, then I can't put your information in for a full report.
Yeah, but I have go ahead and step out, too. Okay, my address is...
And at this point is when we explained to this officer that we were live on Tiffany's channel, on Official Misconduct's channel, and that I did not want to give my private information out loud so that he would let me know whenever we were going to need to do that. And this is what he did with that.
Is he still on there?
Yeah, I'm on here.
To be honest, you sound a little disappointed to be, taking a criminal report on somebody.
I'm writing what you're saying.
Okay. You can imagine my insecurity after you saying that you didn't want to take the report. Does that happen to the residents of this county very often, where they're denied their services of law enforcement due to a family member of somebody important?
Alright, let's see here. Alright, someone...
Hold on there. Whoa.
502.
That's right. The motherfucker just proceeds to dox us.
Sheriff states, she identified by TV on mainstream media.
And by admission in person. She said, yes, I am Sheriff Wimpy's sister.
Okay, and my mention.
Do not blurt out my address again, please.
I'm just verifying everything.
I'm going to verify something about a complaint on you, too.
Okay.
I'll be talking to your chief tomorrow.
Alright, well, I got all I needed here, so I will fill one out for you.
When will that be?
I need the report number, please.
I don't have one yet. I have to get it from dispatch.
Okay.
We'll get that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get it. Okay. Well, I'm very disappointed in you, sir. You did a terrible job.
All right.
Okay.
Be better, do better.
Bye.
Hey, if your partner is being secretive with their phone, you need to do this now. Most people...
All right, guys.
And now, some people will say, oh, well, they're being ignorant, or, they're being, uncooperative or something. No. That's not how it works. The police are supposed to work for us. That they're supposed to serve and protect. They are public servants, okay? And it's our job and it's our duty as responsible citizens of this country to petition our government and to air our grievances. If we feel a certain kind of way about our public servants and their service, we're supposed to let them know. We're supposed to petition our government. We're supposed to air our grievances with them. How else are they supposed to serve the public if the public doesn't, express their dissatisfaction? And I'm sorry, but that's just uncalled for when somebody tries to report harassment and they try to blow them off. I'm sorry, that doesn't even make sense. Contact an attorney. Same thing the sheriff said, isn't it? Isn't that funny?
As we're back day 2 at the Brandenburg City Police Department.
I also want to point out, Kentucky, there's only a couple states that are Commonwealth states. Kentucky is one of them. Pennsylvania is also another one of them. So I'm very familiar with how the Commonwealth works. In the Commonwealth state, if the law enforcement is provided with information that suggests a crime has been committed, they jump on it. I mean, they jump on it because you do not need a witness to testify or a witness to make the decision or not on whether or not they want to press charges. If there's knowledge, if there's information that a crime has been committed, if they had just had some knowledge of a harassment being done, right? It doesn't matter if they wanted to file charges or if they didn't want to file charges. The cops would do it. They just do it. They file on behalf of the Commonwealth. And that's the victim, the Commonwealth, right? They're the plaintiff in the case. And that's something that's a little different from other states, but it's also, it lends to more evidence that they're absolutely, the opposite of that. They're being corrupt. They're discriminating. Because in Kentucky and Pennsylvania, these are the states where the prosecution and the law enforcement, they charge every opportunity they can. They jump on it and they press charges on people. I've had a situation where it was a misunderstanding and I borrowed my friend's bike and he didn't know who took it, right? And he reported it stolen and the cops came and he found out who took it. Then he said, oh, it was John. Well, I don't want to press charges. I didn't know it was John that took my bike, And then he came to my house and the bike, no harm, no foul. I was locked in my shed. I took my buddy's bike and rode it home. And I immediately, said, oh yeah, here, it's in the shed. Here, I locked it up, and then I gave it. They returned the bike. There was no harm, no foul, no restitution. This person wrote a letter, a recommendation letter to the officer, pleading with them, asking them, requesting not to press any charges because it was a misunderstanding. And they tried to charge me with a felony. They tried to charge me with a felony for that because it's a Commonwealth state. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. So.
Report the sheriff's sister, Stephanie Wimpy, for harassment. So the police have been giving us a real hard time already, just over the phone. They're not allowing us to report crimes over the phone at all.
Video that's premiering after this, right? That is a solution to a problem. When you have this problem, if you're a targeted individual or if you're an activist, a whistleblower, and you're having this issue with law enforcement where you just can't, nobody will take your report, right? Nobody cares. Nobody will listen to you. I have a video premiering after this that's actually from this channel, okay, which is for public safety. It's by this channel, and it shows you just a quick glimpse of what you can do. Okay, there is something you can do, and you can hold their feet to the fire. You can force them to do their job. They might not like it. You might not get the result you desired, but it's gonna move the ball forward. It's gonna help you. It's gonna make a difference in the whole picture, in the big picture. Okay, we need to all do this to ensure that this fucking shit stops.
That door's, this one over here says police on it. Let's see. It says please use other door. So I guess you gotta get one this way.
So we are at the Brandenburg area.
Hello. Police department?
to come through here? What can I do for you?
I need an officer over a report that I started yesterday.
Okay.
Just need to speak with an officer about it.
Can I just speak with you?
Yeah.
Minutes ago?
Highest up the chain would be better. Are you Bethany?
Bethany.
Oh, sorry. Planning and zoning, police, the whole 9 yards. I told you I was here. I just need an officer. Hello, how are you doing? Doing all right.
Can you hear me? He is actually one of our officers. There's Chris Ryder and Tiffany Napier here. That's why I speak with them this week.
We had actually received a call from the lady that was here, and she's from planning and zoning, but she had called us back on behalf of the police department on her way as we were pulling in, actually, and she was telling us over the phone that we were going to need to contact Kentucky State Police, even though we had already started, or at least we tried to already start a report. Maybe the officer on the first phone call who doxed me, maybe he didn't even start a report. Who knows? But either way it goes, we know the process is you do not start 2 reports at 2 different agencies over the same incident. So we may...
That's funny because this is what they did to me when I tried to report this. I initially called the DA's office because of everybody following me around. I was wondering, I just assumed that I had law enforcement following me around because there was some kind of investigation. So I called and inquired with the DA's office, and I explained to them. I said, I have a bunch of people that seem to be associated with like first responders and firemen and law enforcement following me around. Do you have to tell me if there's an investigation going on? If that's what this is, do you have to tell me? And they explained that the DA's office didn't have an investigation, but that doesn't mean that a law enforcement entity did not have an investigation. But to their knowledge, there was no investigation. And then I explained to them, what was going on and why I speculated why it was happening, right? Why I believed I was being followed around and everything and harassed. If there's no investigation, then okay, then they're just doing it. There's no sanctioned investigation. They're just doing it to harass me or whatever. You know what I mean? So I explained this to her, and she tells me to call the state police, right? Because I explained to her, she said local law enforcement first. I didn't even go that route. I skipped it because it was local law enforcement was responsible. Okay, that's who I was claiming was responsible. So she said to contact the state police. I contacted the state police, and I had dispatcher Mulhern. Okay, he answered the phone, and he answered the phone as Trooper Mulhern. Okay. And he said, no, I need to call the DA's office back. So I called the DA's office back. And I spoke with an investigator at the DA's office in length and explained it in detail to her because the officer, told me to call them back. And because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to bring the charges, the prosecutor, right? So I explained it to them because I'm sitting here making claims against law enforcement. So they have to make the determination on whether I'm just embellishing or if I'm just making stuff up from that, or if it's going to rise to, if it's going to rise to the standard of, bringing up charges on a law enforcement officer over what I'm claiming. Okay. It kind of has to go past the police. It has to go to the DAs. So I explained it all to her, and I got the impression that it was enough to report the crime, and she needed an officer to go ahead and take the report. So she told me to call the state police back again, and she told me this time to tell them that I told you to call, and she gave me her name, and she told me to specifically let them know that I told her that she told me to call to report this. So, and when I mentioned that I spoke with Trooper Mulhern, she immediately said, wait, Trooper Mulhern? I said, yeah, that's what he said. And they started laughing, okay? And then she proceeds to tell me that he's not a trooper. And she, like, said it, like, really demeaning. She's like, he's not a trooper. Like, that's like stolen valor, right? She said, it's Dispatcher Mulhern. He's not a state trooper, she said. So he misidentified himself, you know what I mean, to me. And I called back again to the state police, like she told me. I started explaining to him that she told me to call. I started explaining the situation, and he immediately stopped me, and he assumed he knew what was up, and he said, we can't just go taking reports every time somebody gets angry at a cop for pressing charges on them. That's what he said, and he hung up. So I realized what it was. It's a game.
That clear here.
Okay, thanks. In just a minute, okay?
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Bethany, what I was trying to explain is the process, the law works like this, and this would be what would happen with the Kentucky State Police. And if I'm overreaching by explaining, just let me know and I won't, because I'm not trying to be rude.
Right, I was just relaying information that was given to me.
Right, but it was wrong. So here's why. Once an investigation has been started, it doesn't have to actually be the investigation. Once a report is made, then that is the only one that can be done on the same subject. So if the Kentucky State Police came and tried to open it, there would already be one here, and they wouldn't be able to do it. You can't have two different agencies doing the same. It would be like a double jeopardy situation for the person, for the suspect. You know what I'm saying? She can't be investigated by two different agencies for the same one crime.
And I'm not sure how it works.
Well, I just explained it. That's how it works. All right, thank you, though.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. You were told the wrong thing, that's all.
That process going where it needs to be.
Do you know who the officer is that's responding?
I don't.
Okay,
It has to go through dispatch.
I understand. Okay. They kind of treat us around here like we're either infamous or that we don't, for some reason, pertain to the legal system. Like we're not allowed to utilize the legal system. It's weird. Ever since what happened to us in the courthouse.
I'm not sure. You just, I don't know. You know, life's hard and things are difficult.
I think it's the small town they're very exposed to this mentality, but what they call it technically is the good old boy network. And what happens is there's a lot of nepotism in just about every municipality.
But there's a lot of...
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
I'm Chris.
I'm Tim.
Nice to meet you, Tim. So we started a report yesterday, and you're not the same officer, thank
No, we
goodness.
won't be on until tonight.
That's fine by me. I'd rather him not do anything else on it anyway, because he committed a crime against me in my call. He doxed my home address on purpose. So that really turned me off to him. The situation is this. I'll show you a video. Yesterday we were physically harassed by Stephanie Wimpy, and she's the sheriff's sister. So I think there's a conflict there, but it happened right in front of multiple officers at the courthouse. She put us in fear. She even stood in front of my door when I tried to get back to my car. So I want to show you guys the video so you can see it, and then we want it entered like as a case, because I think you guys need to handle it. And I don't know, and I wouldn't expect the sheriff's department employees to do it, given that conflict.
So
That's what came here.
why is the officer last night not able to finish?
Well, like I said, in the process of me reporting it, he was rude to me, and then he doxed my home address. We were on a live stream, and I told him that. I said, he asked me for my address, and I said, hang on a second, we're doing a live stream, it'll be exposed to the entire world. And I said, give me 1 second before I say it, and then we'll not repeat it. Well, then, after he had talked to me a little bit about the circumstances, basically he was just telling me to call a lawyer. Didn't even ask for the evidence or anything. And then when I said, no, man, I needed cops, that's why I fled to here. I came to the police station from there for protection, you know what I mean? And then he goes, Chris Ryder, and then spit out my address, and then laughed about it whenever I said, you just doxed me. He said, well, it's okay, or something like that. And I'm like, no, I'm done with this guy. So, and I was going to take that up with your internal affairs as well while I was here.
Okay, all the supervisors are out of town right now.
Okay, so that part we can't handle right now.
Yeah.
We'll come back Monday for that then or something?
Yes,
like
sir.
whenever they're available?
Yeah.
For now, can we do something please with this report? Like, can it be handled properly?
Can you give me a written statement on everything happened?
Yep, and a report.
Then once you give that to me, then we'll follow up and try to look into it from there.
Perfect, thank you. That's all I wanted. And then I would like to give you the video, or show you the video. Can I just show you guys?
If you're going to enter it as evidence, we probably need to have it.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
We can do that as well.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to watch it too, or, I mean, it's pretty obvious that she's committing some crimes
I
in
think that
it.
both of them would be beneficial, especially not only the harassment, but she also admitted to being intoxicated while, she drank before she drove. So
I can't prove that, but mayors.
Right, but she admitted it on a.
The admission on the recording, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm more interested in protection for ourselves, than that. Because she's their second time doing it. The reason he's here is because this man was at our court hearing the first time the lady did it. So he's here as a witness for you to tell you it's happened more than once. She finds out where we're going to be at. She comes and then just harasses the daylights out of us. We keep saying, please stop, just leave us alone. And she'll follow us around. She's doing things like sticking her camera all the way up to my face, making lewd comments, saying she's a whore and a drug addict, and,
The person part is whenever we do try to leave her and tell her to leave us alone, she follows us.
yes, and then all the way to the car. I mean,
She did it to me at court too.
I got in the car yesterday, and when I drove away, I was looking over my shoulder to see if she was following us, so we came straight here, because I didn't know. I mean, she's out of control, man, I want to go ahead and show you the video, if you don't mind. Okay. And we'll enter it as evidence, so we'll do that now. So we were just there to do a report, because there's a sheriff department, well, we thought, it might have been Stephanie. We thought it was a sheriff department employee, but it might have been Stephanie. Somebody's been working with a guy who committed a murder a few years ago, who's on the internet, who knows me from the internet, and he's been harassing us over in Indiana. So we found out that he's been contacting the sheriff's employee, and the sheriff's employee's been giving him private information about me and her. So we were there to tell them that, to say, whoever's working here is doing that, please, tell them to stop. So here's...
Excuse me, guys. I did not drive all the way here just to get turned away.
And they ignored us.
What's going on, Dana?
Give me just a second.
It might be a little long here, and bear with me.
That protects their employees who violate laws, looks like.
They ignored us.
You can tell that the officer in the back here, he doesn't even seem interested at all. He kind of looks annoyed. So I'm guessing that he's already, they're all in the same fucking club, right? They pretend like they're, like the officer that came in, he pretended to do just what he needed to act like, the good guy, the cop that's going to help. But make no mistake, they all talk ahead of time. That's all they do. They have nothing better to do. I guarantee you, every one of these cops are already aware of the situation. They're already on the same page, and they're spin doctors. They'll pretend like they're gonna help you and everything. They'll do whatever they have to do to get rid of you, and then they'll do nothing.
Being right at the right time.
There it is.
Awesome.
Is this a lawsuit, Sheriff's sister?
Use me again.
Are you sure that your brother didn't call you?
Every time, I don't even know, am I related to somebody here?
You sure your brother didn't call you?
Am I related to somebody here?
Yeah, Lindsay.
Turn your phones off. No, this works great. I got you all on a great video, I promise.
Let me ask you.
It's perfect. I got you.
Why are you doing this to us?
Here's what I want to know. Y'all reek of pot, by the way.
Do we?
Yeah, you reek of marijuana.
You smell like alcohol.
Because I just took
Actually,
a swig
it looks
before I
like
came over here. But you all reek of marijuana.
Drunk
Drunk marijuana, boy? Is that it? I think it is. You can't lie. You're one of them.
No, it is, she's protecting her brother is what she's doing, which I understand that. But he is an elected official. He's a sheriff. So she has to understand that in that, he is subject to what we do.
Right, to redress.
Yeah, and journalism. So, I mean, that's all. She's just going to have to accept it instead of attacking anybody that comes around. And I wouldn't have done that had it not been for...
I'm gonna go back and print off some statement forms.
Okay.
So you can write me a statement out.
Yep.
And then I'll follow up with the county attorney and everybody and they get this and we'll go from there.
Thank you, sir. I
Okay.
appreciate it. You guys are great, man. I appreciate that. I've met your chief, too. He seems like a good guy, too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, we just had a bad experience with the officer that responded yesterday is all. You know.
Okay. Gentlemen, can I get a name and badge numbers for you?
I'm sorry?
Your name, badge number, Officer T.
942.
942. For you, sir?
Officer Childs, 948.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. We can show when people do a good job and identify them for that, too.
You gotta give good credit.
We can move in here so that...
Is it okay to record? Okay, that's fine.
Do you need me to stop out of this?
It's up to you, buddy. I mean, you're with me. You're fine. You can come in. And of course, in real life, all of this took close to an hour. So I'm not going to bore you with watching every detail of filling out a proper police report for an hour, but things did get just a little...
But see, I've had this same thing happen too. The person who's behind, I believe the main person behind my targeting, the chief of police, Travis Schilling here in Patton, he's very, very nice to me now. He's really good at keeping his cool, right? He doesn't lose his shit. He's able to keep his cool and he's able to maintain, the perception that he's nice and that's what they do. That's what they're good at if they're good. And a lot of them just can't do that and they lose their shit, right? But the ones that act like they're they're being helpful and everything, they just say the least amount possible and they do their job. They act professional and they just take your report and everything else. But after you leave and behind closed doors, it's a different story.
A little bit strange here, and I did want you guys to see this part.
So what we're gonna start with here is and you're gonna put your name, okay? And then I put my name on both of these.
Okay.
And, it says, have been advised of my rights or counsel and I do not want to make a statement and understand these rights have been signed and waived. You're not being arrested, so we're not doing that, okay? So, and then it says statement given below is written by and myself. And you are, and how would you are.
Okay.
And you can or cannot read, circle which one.
Okay.
And then, how many years of school you have completed.
Okay.
And then just start here and come down. And we won't do how many pages of which, how many it is or anything until we're done. And then we'll list how many other pages they are. We'll move to the next one, make it page 1 of 2, 1 of 3.
I think it'll be pretty simple. I don't think we'll take more than the first line.
Okay, so
I'm just going to put the facts in there.
we'll put the date and everything in here, have you sign it, and then we'll get some witnesses to sign it, and then we'll go from there, okay? So if you want to.
So what are my rights then on this particular procedure?
Do you want to reread your rights?
Well, the rights for this, yeah.
Well,
just so I understand. I don't like signing anything I don't understand.
You don't, I mean, if you don't want to give me a written statement.
No, I do. I just want to know what the rights pertaining to this is. Like what? It says that you've been advised of my rights. So which rights am I being advised of is my question. Just that simple.
Well, I mean, you can sign it or you don't want to sign it. I mean, you know.
Oh, is that what it's referring to?
But I can read your rights to you. If I was charging you, I would read your rights to you.
Right.
I'm not charging you, I'm investigating something right now.
All right. So you're questioning?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Well, I'm not questioning, you're giving me a statement.
Right. So it's a lot like if someone came in to provide witness information. And so you see it on TV. It's not an interrogation. It's a non-arrest situation where a person is coming in and saying, I hereby affirm and swear by what my statement is.
Yeah.
That kind of thing? Okay, that was what I was asking, is what rights are they asking about here? Because if you can't tell, we're kind of activists when it comes to rights and
These guys aren't professional or anything. They're just like anybody, like you or me, and they've had their rights violated, and that's why they're doing this right now. They don't really know. They're kind of winging it. They don't really know. They're not professional. They're not experts here. They're just asking questions. As you can tell, obviously. I think what they're referring to on the paper is the rights as they've been read to you. Is if you were, if you're a suspect and you're providing a statement as a suspect, and because you have the right to remain silent, you don't have to fill out a statement. You know what I mean? So that's I believe what they're referring to there when they're talking about rights.
Exactly. And,
I would be
if you want to give me a statement, you can give me one.
Absolutely.
Because you could provide a statement, and in doing so, you could, without even realizing it, you could incriminate yourself. I mean, you could give information that implicates you in a crime without even realizing it, and that's one of the things that you have to be aware of, with your rights. You have the right to remain silent, but anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Okay? And you have a right to an attorney and all that. So that's why the rights are still relevant no matter what, because even though you're a victim, providing a victim report, if you write in your report that you were engaged in this or that, which happens to be a crime, right? While you were, victimized or whatever, well, they can charge you with that crime that you just admitted to on that witness statement. You understand? It's not like you get a pass because you're a victim in this crime. You just admitted to another crime on an official police sworn affidavit by you. It's a sworn affidavit. You're not allowed to lie on these, or they can criminally charge you if you lie. If they find out anything you say on that statement is a lie, and if they can prove that you knew it was a lie, then you get charged with false swearing, lying to a law enforcement official. And that's a big deal. So anyway.
And ultimately, these guys ended up doing one even better. After going over the paperwork with us while we were filling it out, one of them decided it would just be easiest to cross all that mumbo-jumbo out about being read our rights at the top and signed it. And then we just kind of went through everything, made our report, made the statements, promised to attach the video, and everything went really well. So let's move on.
Because at the end of the day, the entire legal system and law enforcement and the court systems, all of it, okay? It's all governed by words and definitions, okay? It's all it is how a court how a court interprets certain words, phrases, definitions, okay? According to the verbiage of the law, okay? So according to the statutes and the verbiage of the law, it depends on how you can present it in court. If you can present a case in court, anybody can do it. If you can present a case in court that is, it's just common sense. If it's undeniable, if it's a case that you can't argue with, then you'll win, plain and simple. And the words are right there. That's why it's fair, because everybody has the same words. Everybody has the same statutes. And like, for instance, if you get charged with a theft of movable property, okay? Now, theft of movable property, like say you stole a dirt bike, right? Well, part of that definition, if you look up the statute, part of the definition of theft of a movable property, it includes, and the words are important, it includes the removal of someone else's property, okay? Movable property, the theft or unlawful taking of property with, and then this is important, with intent to deprive the owner thereof, okay? So that means that they also have the burden of proof. They have to prove that you took this, and they have to prove that you took it with intent to keep it or to deprive the owner of said property. So, like if you borrow your buddy's dirt bike, right? And then you return your buddy's dirt bike, and you even fill the gas tank up, okay? And you do it in broad daylight, not trying to hide or anything. And you take it right in front of a camera that's obviously right there. Well, it'd be pretty hard for them to they can charge you with it, but you would win in court because you just argue. You argue that the evidence, the videotape and the evidence itself, the fact that you filled the tank up with gas in town and made yourself, you put yourself out there to be seen in town, so you were not trying to elude anybody or hide, and you returned it, and when you took it, you didn't try to hide from the camera or anything or to conceal yourself. How the hell there's no way they're going to be able to prove intent. All you did was borrow it. And that's the definition. That is the legal definition. It is not against the law to borrow somebody's property. You can borrow anything you want, even without permission. It's not theft. It is not theft unless they can prove your intent to keep it, intent to deprive the person thereof, okay? And that's important. A lot of people don't realize that, and a lot of cases, I'm sure they just charge you with theft, and people don't look into the statute. They don't read the law, and they don't realize if they just read the law, read the actual definition of the law, and just use your common sense, and that will tell you straight up if you have a case or not, or if they can, if you know what you did or what you didn't do, so if they can prove, they have the burden of proof. So they have to prove that you did this beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's where, if everybody realized the law and they took a little bit of time to learn the law, learn police procedure and court procedure and court, the lingo, the legal lingo, and just court etiquette. If they just took a little bit of time to learn all that shit, it doesn't take much. You could visit you can sit in on a couple court hearings. You can watch some videos. You can look at examples of criminal complaints and different things, and it's not that much involved. You just have to want to do it, and you have to pay attention. And when you learn enough, it evens out the odds. Then the cops don't have the power anymore. Actually, you have the power then, because when you have the knowledge and you learn your rights and you learn how everything works, well, then they have the burden of proof, so you automatically have the advantage. And that's nobody's fault, but the people's fault. You can't blame it on the cops for not teaching everybody how to work the system, and you can't blame it on the system for everybody agreeing to probation or agreeing to get steamrolled. You know what I mean? They have every opportunity to learn the law and learn their rights and learn how it all works. So it's nobody's fault but their own if the system, just steamrolls you or just walks all over you. It's your fault. I'm sorry, but it's your fault. You have the opportunity to learn everything, and you can try to make the claim that you don't have the money for a lawyer and blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Anybody can learn this shit. Anybody. So I suggest, if you don't know this stuff, I suggest you start today.
Because we still have a lot more to cover in this video. So guys, these officers, Handley and Childs, were freaking fantastic. They're doing their job. They're very professional. I didn't have the same, I'm gonna flip this around. I did not have the same troubles that I expected it to be, because when I first got on the phone with the agency, I was only talking to their planning and zoning administrator, or not even that, she's just a secretary, and she didn't really know what was going on. So it was not bad, it was not anything wrong. We just needed to get the officers on the scene. They came, they did a great job. I'm very grateful, thank you for that. I appreciate it, sir. It was a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
decent police officers, not involved in the specific situation, and they're just doing their job and they're good at it, or they are involved and they're just really good at being the spin doctors and playing dumb, which either one could be true, right? We have to wait and see what the result is of this criminal complaint.
All right, guys, now that we got that other roadblock out of the way, we're back at the Meade County Detention Center and Sheriff Department, courthouse as well, basically the whole city epicenter, to go back to the Sheriff's Department to get back to business that we were trying to do before all that crazy stuff just happened. So here we go, guys. Hi, Dana.
Hi.
Okay, after we got the Les situation took care of from yesterday, I just had to go to the city police department to handle Stephanie. Back, I want to try to conduct my business, which is real simple. I just need someone that can take this as a report, maybe internal affairs. There's an employee that is working here who is assisting a person in harassing me and my girlfriend. So I need to talk to someone about doing whatever the process is for that.
I have been instructed by the county attorney as an employee. I am not, you need to have your attorney contact our attorney.
Okay, but it doesn't have anything to do with that matter. What I'm saying to you is that there is a person working here at the Sheriff's Department who is an accomplice in a police report that we've already made. This is a guy who has a YouTube channel.
And as for this clip, I'm going to keep a lot of the details that went on in this report unpublished at this time. But ultimately, it's going to end up being a warrant served on the individual that runs the YouTube channel.
I can apply for a warrant and that's safe.
Okay. And maybe even more. And it could end up being a bit of a dive for the investigation because there are accomplices who have been working along with that person in effort to commit crimes against us. So more on that will come out later. However, one thing I do want you to see now is, and I didn't find it hard to believe, but the guy that will just not stop harassing us ended up calling right in front of this police officer. So watch this.
There he is. Hello?
This is Church Company?
This is Chris Ryder. How can I help you?
I'm looking to get a new ring.
Okay, Michael.
New ring?
Okay, Michael. Do you want to talk or what?
No, let's talk.
What did you say?
Let's talk.
Let's talk? All right. What do you want to talk about? What can I do to get you to quit harassing me?
I'm harassing you. You texted me. Here's my call. I was harassing you. Lost my number to stay on top of that.
I did tell you that, you put me all the way in the corner, man. I'm at the point now where I feel like I have no choice but to have a civil discussion to see if we can resolve this.
Oh, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
What do you want me to say? You're the one that calls me bud.
You're the one that threatened to unalive me and trying to say I got warrants.
But you did have a warrant. You did have a warrant.
Why didn't you take that down?
I couldn't hear you.
Why didn't you take that down?
Take what down? Your warrant?
On your page, you know real journalists, when something's changed, they retract it. You know that, right? You're a journalist.
I'm a journalist.
It's only retracted if it's a lie. It was actually factual, and you supposedly took care of it. So maybe you should just publish something letting people know you took care of it.
Yeah, I don't care what you do, man.
Okay, well then it's all good.
Yeah, I don't know what what's your reason for...
I won't vote you no more. I just want to ask you a question. One, why did you lie and say that my sheriff pressed that user into your girlfriend's chest? That's a lie.
What are you talking about as a lie, though?
You said he pressed it onto her chest so hard.
Why? I don't understand, though, Michael. Why are you saying that's a lie? You saw the video where the sheriff deputy put the taser to Tiffany's chest.
He didn't punch her. What did you do with investigation? Or two different things.
Okay, so you're saying that you're doing this. Are you calling me like this because you disagree with me saying that he pressed the taser to her chest because you didn't see it contact her skin?
I'm calling you for a couple reasons. Also, you want to talk about me on your channel?
No, I really do not. The only thing I did on my channel was when I found out you had the warrant, I asked my subscribers to help law enforcement find you. Because Michael, look, I don't care about you, but you scare my family, you scare me.
You won't scare me at all. What are you talking about?
No, me personally, I would rip your fucking head off. But I'm scared for my family's welfare when you're so obsessed with us. And you're very aggressive, and you call Tiffany names, and you say lewd statements, and you talk about drugs and, prostitution, and look, dude, I don't want anything to do with you. And you contact Tiffany's ex-husband regularly, and I have an EPO against him for a reason. He's not supposed to be. It is against the law. You're not supposed to be. He's not supposed to have any sort of contact, direct or indirect, with me or Tiffany. And you are the indirect line that is being used, and you're doing it.
Okay, that's on him. He can control him.
Dude, you can control. You don't have to call me. If he calls you, you don't have to call me.
I haven't talked to you in a week. You're fucking.
Okay, so what? You're still calling me with shit out of his mouth. So, I'm trying to understand why. But why are you doing it, though? All of it in one big nutshell. Why are you doing it, Michael?
I just want your update on your lawsuit. That's it. I'll let you go.
You want what?
We can't talk about the lawsuit. We have an attorney now. We can't talk about the lawsuit.
Why are you asking questions about the lawsuit?
You can call and ask our attorney.
Yeah, our channel is about the lawsuit, so why are you, so you're saying you're harassing me because you want me to talk to you about my lawsuit. Is correct or incorrect?
I'm harassing you. If I were, you would say, I'll call me more. So
but I've said that. How many times have I told you not to call me, Michael?
You literally just said that to you yesterday.
Yeah, I've asked you every single time you've called.
Well, definitely harassment. That falls into the station harassment. Oh, if it's harassment to a T, like everything you tell me.
Yeah,
use the cell phone, everything.
A crime report that we've already made in Harrison County, Indiana. I can give you the case number. And there's an accomplice to that crime here in this agency.
Okay, what I would do is contact Kentucky State Police if you need something investigated here. Other than that.
Okay, so you don't want to do it through internal affairs, then they would rather do it through KSP?
I have been told anything that you need to have your attorney contact our attorney.
Do you know that they're not allowed to just not serve me with law enforcement, no matter who I am or what's in the past? Just because I have a criminal pending matter doesn't mean that the sheriff's department's not supposed to give me law enforcement. I know you know that, but what I'm asking is, don't they know that?
I can't speak to what anybody else knows.
Okay, then here's all I'm going to ask you to do, because now it's becoming another legal issue. Please identify whoever's been telling you that. To tell me.
The Meade County attorney.
Again? What is wrong with her?
As an employee.
So she's advising you guys, as your attorney, to not provide legal services for me, not provide legal law enforcement, criminal matters
Isn't she the same one that recused herself?
Yes.
Okay. So how can she
It's funny, right? This is the same thing that, I mean, they never gave me an excuse or a reason. They just ignored me, right? And they did everything in their power to avoid me. But it's clear that they were instructed by somebody, or they all agreed, collectively agreed, not to help me, and not to protect and serve me, not to provide me with law enforcement. Same exact thing, isn't it? Right? They say, oh, it's the attorney. Maybe it is the attorney or whatever, but why? It doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have any pending legal issue with anybody. I didn't even file a complaint with anybody in this town, but yet the law enforcement in this town, the chief of police refused to assist me or do anything. Even Dillhole, he showed up only because they had to do something. He showed up to collect a statement from my daughter for Travis Schilling, meaning it was Travis Schilling's case, but he wouldn't knock on my door. He would not. Travis Schilling is the one that would not come to my door, would not respond, would not do anything. Then after they completely ignored when I was assaulted, right? I was assaulted while on the phone with 911. They completely ignored that. And as far as the furnishing alcohol to a minor goes, they were very reluctant to take any other evidence. They just wanted a brief statement from my daughter, uncoached. Okay, so my daughter wrote a statement. She doesn't understand how to word it and everything, you know what I mean? So she wrote her own statement at 14 years old without me being able to tell her what to write or anything, or explain to her what to include. Gave it to the officer, which at that time he could have looked at it and said, well, we need you to include this, include that, or whatever they need to prosecute. But he didn't do any of that. I gave him the leftover alcohol. He didn't want to take it. He was like, he didn't know what to do. He's like, well, I don't want it. I don't want that. I don't know what to do with that. I'm like, it's evidence. I don't want it. I don't want it here. It was literally evidence. And then I had screenshots as well. Okay. And my statement as well. My testimony and statement from the furnishing alcohol to minors. So I had all of this. I even had my daughter's confession recorded. So, but they didn't do anything. They got a simple little statement from my daughter that she wrote. And then I don't know what he did with the alcohol. He did take it. He didn't want to take it, but I told him I didn't want it to hear, you know what I mean? And it's evidence. It was literally evidence. But they did take it. But then it was shortly after that, he said, he's just there collecting the statement. It's not his case. Okay, this is the game they play. And then it was like a couple weeks later, I seen him again. And he tells me, oh yeah, well Travis gave me that case. He passed it on to me. So to Dillhole. So he gave the case to Dillhole. So then it was Dillhole's case, and he tells me he's gonna make an example out of him. He's gonna do his best to make sure that they're prosecuted and everything, right? He tells me that, and he says that his case is relying on the witness that provided me with the screenshots, okay, and the one that told me that had a conscience and told me about the furnishing alcohol to a minor, the one that alerted me to it, that person, okay, they gave me the screenshots. They didn't have to be included at all, okay? They did not have to be included. I had the screenshots. But Dillhole made out like the whole case hinged around that person's testimony, okay, whether or not they were willing to participate or not. So he kept putting it off, saying, "Oh yeah, I didn't talk to her yet. I didn't get a chance to meet up with her or to talk with her yet." Then eventually, a couple weeks after that, he tells me, "Oh yeah, I did talk to her, and she's not willing to testify against them, so there's nothing I can do." That's what he tells me. And that was it. So they just blew it off until the perpetrators were just gone. They buzzed out of town. They fucking took off. And as far as I know, they went to Virginia. What do you know? And then it was whenever they were gone that he finally told me, oh, yeah, sorry, we can't do anything. So they just avoided me and beat around the bush. So there is clearly an agenda. There is instructions to not, to not do anything for the targets, right? For some reason. They don't want to have any open cases where the target is like a victim, I guess. I don't know why. You know what I mean? But it's the same across the board. It's obviously the same here with these guys. You know, they gave them that excuse. It's probably a lie, though. Their attorney told us this or whatever. No. Or there's a program that's a classified program, public safety program that's protected under the guise of national security, and everybody signed non-disclosure agreements that's involved, and they all get paid to be a part of this new public safety program, right? Where they basically identify everybody in the public as either a regular good citizen or a danger to national security, a threat to national security, like a domestic terrorist, right? Or a possible terrorist. And they just split everybody up. So you're either in the know and you're involved, but you're not allowed to say anything, or you're a target, period. It's almost like there is no in between, you know? It's weird. It's like there is no in between, because there would be other people curious about this. It doesn't make any sense. Normal people that weren't involved would be curious, like targets are. They would be looking into it too, saying, "Yeah, what's up with that?" But there's not. These people all act like, oh, they don't care. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it. They just play dumb, which doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense. Right? So there must be some legal document they all signed, and they're threatened. They obviously risk their freedom, right? If they say anything about it. Think about it. If it's a national security issue, if it's a threat to national security and it's classified and they signed a non-disclosure agreement, right? They're not allowed to say anything, and if they do, they could get prosecuted for espionage and go to jail for up to 99 years. And it'd be cut and dry. There's, they'd know if they say a word about it or reveal anything, compromise anything to do with their tactics or methods, right? If they compromise it whatsoever and say anything about it or allude to it or anything, that's it. They know they got them by the balls. So that would be one way that they could absolutely keep this program secret and keep anybody from, being a whistleblower. Because I'm sorry, if I were in that situation, I wouldn't roll the dice and risk my freedom to speak out about this program, knowing how easy they could silence me and not knowing whether or not it would be effective or not. Sorry. And if they track in everybody, then they can hear everybody, so they don't even have a chance to tell anybody in secret, because they're always being monitored. It's part of the deal, right? I mean, it's becoming really obvious that the final pieces of the puzzle that we've been looking for everywhere, right? Well, they were missing. So it seems that all we needed to do was look outside the box. They fell out of the box. The missing pieces of the puzzle fell out of the box. So look outside the box. You'll find the pieces.
Accuse herself from a pending matter and then giving legal advice.
I can't speak to that. I'm sorry.
Okay, I just need an officer, though. I mean, can you just do like a dispatch call for one of your officers? No? All right. I guess that's a no. So, they just said they're not going to service me. Got a criminal here, working here. There's a criminal working here who's committing crimes against me. And the sheriff's department...
My kid's right here.
That's fine. My sheriff's department, or the Meade County Sheriff's Department, does not want to do anything about the crime. And they said that their county attorney told them not to provide us with law enforcement. no matter what. And I guess they're saying that's because there's a pending criminal matter against me. So if you have been alleged to have been committed a crime in Meade County, Kentucky, then I guess their policy is just to refuse you any kind of law enforcement services.
I'm getting my protective order packet. I'm just not taking
You can't go in the clerk's office
I'm
though.
going to the clerk's office. They're going to get the protective order.
Hey guys, what's up? This shit's crazy. Well, we need to make sure. Do you mind getting her back? Yeah, I got it. All right, so this place is bad, y'all. Like real bad.
What is this?
What just happened?
Like, I smacked the countertop because I'm frustrated. They refuse to even give me a protective order.
They won't give you the paperwork for a
They will
protection
not
order?
even give me a packet for a protective
I'm
order.
so done with Meade County.
You said that, I had to get it through an attorney.
Sorry. Oh, she's coming through.
You don't need an attorney to get the packet for protection.
Think about it. If we are secretly at war, if we're secretly at war, okay, and our law enforcement and our military has compiled a list of potential threats to national security, right? Potential domestic terrorists, and we are at war, okay? Think about it. It would absolutely compromise the national security if they were to provide any law enforcement services or anything like that to somebody who is a threat to national security, a possible terrorist, right? That's like the enemy. You know what I mean? They can't service the enemy, but they can't talk about it either. It's like an information war. It's like a cold information war, right? A disinformation war, where the news is pretty much a TV show. It's all just a show, right? It's all just a show. It's all scripted, and they're all actors. Secretly, there's actually a war going on, and like I said, it's an information war. And there must be something they know that they can't talk about. Something very big, like the people that are on a terrorist watch list. Maybe they discovered that somebody, an enemy, has been able to infiltrate, our government at the highest level and actually mimic anybody or something. And they have to slowly vet everybody. They have to one by one. They have to be able to they can't just breach our security and risk that. They have to kind of vet everybody and figure out, because they can't allow people that are on a security watch, a security threat list, a terrorist watch list, to further implicate, our country or anything if we're at war. But it doesn't make sense, because the people that are doing that, thinking they're doing the right thing, it doesn't make any sense. Our borders wide open. They're letting all these fucking immigrants in and spreading them all throughout the country. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Unless the only thing that makes sense is that our authority, our law enforcement, our police, and the court systems, all of that is what's compromised, right? And they are they are somehow under some other control. Somehow, I don't understand why they would do this. If these people are supposed to be bigger patriots, than anybody, because they're public servants. If they chose to do that job, they should care about the country more than anybody. So why are they allowing this all to happen? It doesn't make... There's a couple missing pieces of this puzzle that are just... they're totally unknown. It's hard to say what the hell they're going to reveal. But there's some missing pieces, because none of this makes any sense. You know what I mean? None of this. Things are not what they seem. They're not to me, anyway. I don't understand how normal people can't... why... I don't understand how regular normal people don't share my concern and share my perspective. I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me. That suggests that they have, they know something. They have other information and they're not sharing. Because if not, they would be curious. It doesn't make any sense.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I had to guess, I would say the reason that particular sheriff department is refusing to give Tiffany a protection order packet is because they are very well aware that the person that is going to receive that restraining order is going to be the sheriff's sister.
So she's going to refuse to give you a protection order packet?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to the judge's executive about that.
Yeah, she told me that she is advised not even to a protective order packet, and my attorney needed to contact anyone that I needed any kind of service.
Okay, I am so sorry. How are you doing today? It's good to see you again.
How are you?
We're not good. So the sheriff's department is acting completely foolish. We need a protection order packet.
Okay.
And they're refusing us all legal services. They're saying that the prosecutor is telling them to not provide any law enforcement, no protection order packets, no nothing.
Okay.
So we just need a protection order packet.
Do you know which office that would be in?
I'm guessing, if I had to guess, I think it would be the clerk's office.
And we're not allowed to go in the clerk's office.
All right, let me go see what I can do.
Thank you so much. It's pretty bad that you got to bypass the sheriff's department and go straight to the judge's executives to get business. Thank you so much for that.
Bring that back to my office for the bill.
Perfect. Hey, at least we're not completely shut out of the entire legal system as long as we got someone like you. I can't believe that Sydney is allowing them to do that. I know that she's an elected official, and I know that your judge can't directly do anything, but if you could, please report it.
I'll mention it.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my own federal reports on it, and then of course we'll take civil action, but why do we have to do all that? But just for an EPO packet?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
Yeah.
These people who are public servants, I thought they were obligated. I thought they were mandatory. That if they are provided information and made aware of any crimes or any kind of legal activity or misconduct, that they were required to make a report.